Welcome to the Energy Hour. The Energy Hour is brought to you by Quality Home Improvement, Southern California's premier residential and commercial contractor, making homes and businesses energy efficient, one building at a time.
Hey, Rob, what's going on?
Good morning.
Hey, it's, what is it, Tuesday today?
Happy Tuesday.
Today is the 21st of May, and
Wow.
The reason we're doing this I don't think it's an emergency podcast.
No, but it's
like-
impromptu.
yeah, I guess.
You know?
It's earned its award today.
It got our attention.
Got
and
our
it should get
attention
yours.
very well. And I was listening on a very credible radio station last night, and I almost drove off the road when I heard this. And I'm kind of a safe driver, right? I mean, well, for the most part, anyways.
Right.
My wife would disagree, but
So would mine, but sometimes you got to pull over.
I went to NASCAR school.
Oh,
Does
there
that
you go.
count?
It counts a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
especially for California drivers, it does help.
OMG, I'm telling you, you got to have defensive course, a certificate in your glove box, a NASCAR
I literally
sticker.
spent a family day on Sunday, and no exaggeration, there were 3 times I had to avoid drivers that I wasn't the problem, but they don't know what a turn signal is. They just start to merge without. I can't read your mind. My car might have GPS and a lot of things. It does not have a crystal ball yet, and it was.
You're working on that.
It was
right?
nasty. It was just like
3 times.
3 times in one
Wow.
day. Even my wife said, "Oh my God!" And my son, who's 17, starting to learn to drive, said, "I'm not sure I want to do this.
He goes, you know what? Maybe Uber might be better for
Maybe
me.
I should wait a little bit."
Wow, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful out there. But
Absolutely.
as I was recovering from my I didn't want to say fatal accident, but
Right.
it was close.
Yeah.
I heard on the radio station, this was KFI.
All right.
And
Credible.
KFI is very credible. These
Absolutely.
guys got their act together.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, my favorite friend out there is Bill Handel and all his other buddies.
There you go.
I love his morning show. But anyways, as I'm driving, one of the newscasters said that Southern California Edison, and this is a good thing.
Hold on. You said Southern California. Uh-oh. What? What are they doing now?
No, yeah, right? I mean, it's like, what are these guys going to report these days? I mean, I like to report the good, as you know, the good, bad, and the ugly.
Absolutely.
Right? Good is good. Hey, and
Absolutely.
when it's great, we're going to tell everybody about it. We're
sure.
going to celebrate. When it's bad, we're going to tell you about it too.
So is this one in the good, the bad, or the ugly?
This is ugly times infinity.
Oh, jeez. Again.
It's just really sad.
Okay.
Everybody who is a ratepayer at Southern California Edison, is, of course, this is where Edison is going to put all these little things, right? They're about ready to put up a whole bunch of charging stations, which is a good thing
Okay.
because it promotes, electric vehicles.
Right.
I don't know if you know this, Southern California Edison's getting into the gas business. It's just a different type of fuel,
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah. They know where. Yeah. They see
They
the
are
trend.
smiling from ear to ear
Yeah.
every single day. And when they go down the hallways, they're giving each other high fives and, little butt pinches and whatever else
Lipstick
they
on the
do.
earlobes. I mean, they're smiling
Right?
big. Yes.
I mean,
Yeah.
they are getting into they're competing with the oil companies
And they have
as we
to.
speak.
They have to, because if you're a company and you're not evolving with the market, then you go away with vinyl records. And
That's
you
right.
You go away with that sort of
you
thing.
become
So,
a collector's item.
adaptability is key, but something
Yes.
tells me by the look on your face
Yeah.
that this is costing us to do it.
Well, they're I hate to say it, Southern California Edison is famous for passing the buck, right?
Right.
So let's just say they put up thousands of these, electric vehicle charging stations.
Right.
Hopefully they'll be like 480 because they
Right.
do quick charges,
Quick charge,
like
yeah,
7
absolutely.
minutes or something like that.
Sure.
Or even 240, which, I guess in your garage take 4 hours. But
Right.
in the general public, they're going to be putting a bunch of these charging stations in various locations. And guess what the cost is going to be, Rob?
Oh my God. Well, first of all, I know it's probably not only millions; it's probably tens or hundreds
I
of
mean,
millions.
rightfully so. They should have to pay to get this done, right?
Well, I don't know.
You were silent there for a minute.
No, because here's the
You were
thing.
thinking.
Here's the thing, because Tesla went out and part of their package of their cars, they built charging stations, and for their S models and X models, they gave away that. On the 3 Series...
What a great thing, right?
The 3 Series, you don't get that. You could buy it, but because the car is such
They're
a lower
cheap.
cost.
Yeah.
Porsche has announced that with their new Taycan that's going to compete with the S Series Tesla, that they're probably going to put up to 1,500 stations in the United States. They're not charging, but from the look on your face, because I am sitting across from this gentleman, it looks like they're charging us for that.
Yeah. Unfortunately.
So what are we talking about?
Well, listen, it's only $356 million.
Only. Okay, so...
And guess how they're going to collect that money?
Through my bill.
They're going to add another little love line.
Are they adding to the right column to all?
I don't know,
all those
because
line items that nobody knows how to read.
Hey, that might be part of the public purchase program. But hang on a second here. I'm in business, right?
Right.
If I'm going to do something like in this podcast room,
right.
I'm going to put a nice 65-inch television so we can, do some really cool things and, maybe see Sergio on YouTube and stuff like that,
Right.
Just some dumb stuff, right? But I'm going to pay for it. I'm not going to go out and charge all my customers.
No, that's our...
In the past, $12.50 a piece because I want to put something up in my room.
Sure.
So why should Southern California Edison charge the ratepayers and then have the convenience of charging them to charge once this thing is done?
What an incredible business model.
Did I miss something here?
Well, here's the thing. Well, first of all, I will say this. To whoever's listening, you now have 356 million reasons to listen.
Yes.
On the other side, Edison and a lot of these utilities and giant monopolies, let's just say, have been deemed by the government to be too big to fail.
They're Teflon. They can't be touched.
Absolutely. So in that light, they're allowed to do things typical businesses can't. Or typical business wouldn't even
Which
dream
is totally
of doing.
Ridiculous.
And it's ridiculous because they're passing it along. But so basically it's like a business model that says anything I want to do, I can do because it's not going to be at a cost to me. I'm just going to up my charge to you instead of working out of your margins or whatever that is. I mean, they are a for-profit business. Let's not forget it. They're not a org. They're not a They're not a charity. Right, but
does anybody forget this stuff?
But that's ridiculous. So
come on,
a new line item.
Who
maybe.
in the hell, excuse my language, would give these clowns the right? I mean, to charge me for something they're going to do on infrastructure?
The government.
I don't know who's running California. Newsom, can you hear me now?
Yeah, please.
You should put a hold on these clowns at Southern California Edison. Take out your lipstick and make a little clown face on them and then tell them no straight up. And then make these guys responsible for pulling the money out of their own pockets, installing this stuff. You know what? I'd be more than happy to slip in my little ATM card to charge up my electric vehicle in the future. But I'm not going to pay for none of that if I'm going to have to pay for it.
Well, and the crazy thing is they, because that is that too.
That doesn't make sense, man.
Well, they just allow them to get away with this. So I mean, it's like, look, T-Mobile and Sprint right now are looking to merge. The DOJ and a lot of government agencies are trying to say, well, we don't know if we should allow that to happen because that's even a bigger monopoly. Well, what the heck is Southern California Edison?
They're one of the biggest
LADWP or anything like that.
Listen, there's a bunch of micro utility providers in California. We know who they are. There's Pasadena, IID, Big Bear,
city municipalities,
even Moreno Valley. They make their little power and LADWP. They do all their stuff.
Right.
But now you got one of the three majors. And these are the guys that started the fires.
So here's the thing. Think about it.
Which are probably going to get bailed out.
Of course they will.
On our bill.
We'll pay it some way.
Which is
besides paying for electricity.
Somebody needs to go to prison for that one. I'm sorry.
Okay, but
you can't put a corporation in prison. That's the problem.
Okay, but here's what I say. Okay, I'm going to take a different angle from this. None of this is new. Every single thing they've ever done, they've been allowed to do. Too big to fail, the government lets them do it. Have you ever gone on the website, say, hey, we're notifying you, we're about,
they got a guy
we're about to raise our rates, right?
They got a guy with a happy face.
Yeah, exactly. He's got a smile on his face, but on the page it says, depending on being approved by, and they are always approved. There's
It's
never
like
been a
pre-approved before they put that stuff up.
exactly. It's at that credit card that's offer that's sent to your mail. It says pre-approved.
Now, is
But
the United States government, do you think, I don't think it's the feds that are allowing. I think it's a state level.
No, but the problem is macro utilities. Okay, I think there's three types of utilities. I think there's macro utilities. They're the too big to fail. They're the Edisons, LADWP, even, and then you get even some of your local municipalities like Pasadena, Anaheim, and so forth. They're kind of like smaller versions of that. And then you get micro utilities, which are people trying to build solar farms and so forth. But the utility of the future is utility, spelled
Yes.
YOUTILT. Okay.
I love it, Rob.
Okay,
yeah, don't tell everybody.
No, but the thing here is it's a nano utility, and it's on your roof, because never has there been anything so easy to take your power back. We're fighting about politics and who has the power and things like that, and that's a very complicated fight. This isn't complicated. The utilities have done what they've done for decades. They're going to continue to do it as long as they can get away with it. No one is telling them they can't get away with it. So you, the public, though, have the ability to take back your own control. Be your own utility.
First and foremost, I appreciate them kicking us out of the Stone Age.
Absolutely.
I don't want to have to go to my wife. Hey, honey, do you have any more whale blubber or whale oil?
Right.
Oneth by land, twoeth by sea.
Hey, have you seen my flint? I want to start a fire. No, exactly.
I mean, seriously, man. Watch Survival. You know exactly where we just came from, right?
Exactly.
It's crazy. So I am happy that they're doing that. I'm happy the infrastructure is there. I'm happy about all this stuff.
Absolutely.
They got to frickin' pay for it, though. Quit putting, I'm sick and tired of you bozos putting frickin' line items or inflating the public purchase program and whatever else you got to do to avoid taxation, to avoid the slaughter that your equipment just occurred up in Northern California and all these fires and stuff in Malibu.
Which will just the cost will just get passed on to everyone.
And I'm sick and tired of it. Like that, what was her name up there in New York? There's this one young lady. She just became the senator of New York.
Ocasio-Cortez.
I think she is wonderful. If you're listening to this, Miss Cortez, congratulations. I love you. Yay. It's about time, right?
You can love or hate her politics.
She's wonderful.
But what you can't ever dismiss is her moxie to get up there and challenge the status quo. And in a sense,
her honesty and integrity is totally saturating.
What did she say? It's time average Americans are represented by average people.
We the people. You remember seeing that, right?
Yes. In many ways, I truly believe this. I'm glad you brought that up, because in many ways, I believe the solar movement is average Americans taking back their power.
Absolutely.
That they can get beyond, instead of the government, but it is part of the government, they can get beyond the big utility. And they can actually become their own utility and say, you know what? I'm good. I'm not going to continue to buy into that. I'm not going to be owned. One of the things she said in her, her candidacy was, I'm not owned by anyone. And our public has ability to not be owned by your utility. Sure, if we take you off the grid, so-called, you're still going to have a connection fee. Maybe you're paying $10 or $12 a month, but isn't that better than paying the $300-$400 a month that you're often paying? And just know that at one point, what's on your roof, when it's paid for as well, you don't have that bill.
Hello.
So the thing is, at some point in time, the public, has to get smarter. And that's why we're doing these podcasts, because we believe in you. We know what we know. We've been doing this for decades, and we want to help you take control.
You know, Rob, I'm sick and tired of Southern California Edison taking advantage of us.
Well, yeah, because look,
I'm done.
A normal business.
They're going to cut me off tomorrow. Watch.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if the
my
lights
name's
go off,
Bob,
there won't be a podcast tomorrow because we have no power.
Oh my Lord!
No, but a normal business, when they have to do these things, work out of their margin, right? They work out of their profit margin. but they have an endless profit margin because anytime they have a new idea to do something, they just tack it on top, and you feel you don't have a choice. And I say feel because you actually do have a choice. You don't have to pay this money. You can become your own utility.
What do you think would happen if Southern California Edison did a poll that said, "Hi, everybody," and put that little friendly face there smiling
They're
at you.
always smiling on that page.
Everybody raise your hand if you're okay if we charged you $356 million to put up charging stations, and you'll have to pay for it. Ready? Go.
Yeah.
How do you think that poll will end up?
I think you would hear crickets.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would hear nothing. Because, yeah, exactly. Hey, that's pretty good. Because, like, I go back and say, Musk, whether you like or not, the thing what he did with the electric vehicle is he realized that it just wasn't the car. We've had that electric technology for years. Batteries what gives us distance and range.
They put it in a freaking one of these when they first developed all these crazy new car techniques, they shelved it.
They shelved it decades ago, but the problem that he understood was infrastructure was probably the biggest problem. Batteries and infrastructure. The electric motor been around. So we needed to get batteries so we can get distance, but then we had to get infrastructure in place. But he smartly just said, hey, that's part of my profit margin. I built that into my car. Same thing what Porsche's doing. Same thing with a lot of other charging stations are starting to do. Look, I'm going to put it up, and I'll make my money back when you use it. But Edison has I don't want to
this oxymoron
Can I say balls
approach.
Without saying balls?
You can say balls.
Okay, to just say, look, we haven't, we're making so much money, billions and billions of dollars, but we're still going to charge you for doing the right thing on top of what you already funded. You've already funded this expansion with your bills every month. It gets to be maddening, and it makes us, I think you feel the same.
Dude, I'm flipping frustrated.
It just makes me feel even more impassioned about having people help them to become their own utility.
Why not
say
this?
No. Say no.
Put something in the mail to every ratepayer and says, check this box.
Right.
And just tell their story, I mean, it's a great story. Who doesn't want to have electric vehicle charging stations?
But how about
I do.
But how about every ratepayer email them, flood their email service,
their concern,
and say, you know what? We want it, but we think we paid you for it already. We think every month we're paying for something is what pays for your expansion. I don't think I need to put that on top. And let's face it, there are some people that don't or won't have an electric car yet. They will in the future. Sorry, public, it's going that way. BMW says 2030, no more combustion engines. Cars. GM is saying about the same thing. Volvo's trying to do it
goodbye,
faster.
OPEC.
No, it's a total, and that's why they're investing into. Saudi Arabia is going to build the largest solar farm in the world. They understand where powers come from, and they're going to start buying it differently. But you don't have to fund them anymore. You can go ahead and fund yourself.
Hey, check this out. Remember it happened up in the PG&E, whatever, Heavenly Valley, wherever the hell that just had those crazy
Massive fires.
Right?
Loss of life, loss of homes.
You know that newscast that we put on our website was also talking about it's going to raise the rates by 50%, right?
They're projecting.
You know what they call that valley now? I think it's Heavenly Valley or something like that. You know what they call it?
What?
There's a bunch of people that are going up there taking dark pictures.
Oh my God.
The selfie. Hey, look, I'm at Disneyland.
Right.
Hey, I'm at Universal Studios. They're taking selfies
in a tragic
of destruction in this flipping place that just got completely mowed down with fire and stupidity.
We lost how many lives?
85 people.
We lost how many structures?
Over 18,000. I might be wrong, but it's over one.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Right?
And at the end of the day, they will not pay for any of it. Their ratepayers will.
They're going to make it go up 50%. Yeah. Imagine having a $200 electric bill right now.
Right.
If my bill went up to $300 to $400 just because these guys made a blatant mistake.
So that's the key.
Oh my God.
Can you imagine being in a business?
Generac generator, here we come.
But what business model allows you to go out there completely confident
I can't.
that if you ever made a mistake, your ratepayers are going to pick up the tab?
There
has to be
completely brainless.
There has to be some liability on the company itself to take responsibility for what they do. Now, if the ratepayer doesn't pay it, guess what they're going to do? They're still not going to be happy. They're going to go and get a bailout from the government, which in a sense we're going to pay for in a different way.
I hope that our new governor, Gavin Newsom, has enough balls, cojones, whatever you want to call it, that sticks something hard with PG&E. Completely hits these guys in their chin,
he's taking some
knocks the bejesus out of them.
Yeah.
Not only finds them, how about California taking over the grid?
Yeah.
How about that?
He's done some interesting things and some good things.
I think the U.S. government needs to take advantage of our power. Why not? It'll be one grid, one bill, one rate. Why not that?
It could be. Well, I agree with that, except they're not organized to get a lot of things done. Even the most basic.
Unfortunately, they're not organized to control the presidency. But anyway,
no. But all I know is
this
I keep
flipping Pelosi chick,
and I just keep getting I keep getting the what is it? All these taxes for new roads, and I don't see new roads. I see walls around roads, but I don't see new pavement. But I think the
hey, don't worry about it, Rob. I'm going to start charging everybody that listens to this podcast like 0.3 cents to pay for my new TV.
There you go.
Okay with that, guys?
Well, that's what Edison would do.
That's just crazy, man.
It is. So, but I think it goes back to our inherent message that we talk about all the time. You are in power.
That's right.
You, as an individual, a homeowner, a business owner with a commercial property, whatever it is, you have the ability to become your own utility. You can farm it out and pay them, or you could do it yourself. The advantage of doing it yourself is it's cheaper to own your power than rent it, and at some point you do pay it off and you just own it completely. So at some point in time, we're going to have to start saying the fault is on the consumer.
Yeah.
Because the more we educate, all right, it's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
That's right.
At some point, and that's why we're doing these websites, not to gain business and to do things like that. It's to say there's a movement that is on out there. You could be part of it. You can take control of it. The cost of owning your house isn't just your mortgage. It's your electricity. It's your insurances. It's all your things. And we can help you take control of part of that and lower your cost of operating your house.
Amen to that, brother.
Yeah.
So
let's do it. And as we've talked about before, with all the incentives in place, there's not a better year than 2019, and we're almost halfway through it. Get on board.
Here's the sad part. You hear all these. I don't know if you guys, who doesn't go to YouTube, right?
All the time.
There's this thing called 6 degrees could change the world.
Yeah.
Right? Just put in the search topic, 6 degrees could change the world, and look up things like, environmental issues. Look up things like, fracking. Look up things like, water table damage.
Mm-hmm.
Look up things like, the ring of fire that's around the world. Look up these look up permafrost.
Yeah.
Look up those things.
Well,
get educated.
Here's the thing. Everybody thinks the world needs a big idea to change. And that's a lie. What the world needs, with 7.5 billion people on the planet, is a small idea executed daily.
That's right.
Small ideas have the most massive change. Something small, even down to recycling or this or that, whatever it is. But it takes very small movements done by millions, done often, that have bigger change. Because the big ideas take a lot to change. They're paradigm shifts.
That's right.
They could take decades to get seeded and rooted and have happen. But very small changes like becoming your own utility and having your own control. Imagine, with all the rooftops they want to have, the millions of rooftops they want to have in California alone to be solar in the next decades, it's not going to happen unless people really get involved.
I hope the AQMD wrings these guys' necks with all these fines because they're still going to be polluting the environment. They don't really give a flip about it. At this point, it's a business. And I understand you need power for the infrastructure. Sure. This is just the way we're going to do it. But why discourage people by taking away the rebates, which you've already done a year and a half, almost 2 years ago?
Right.
Great move, X-Lax. right?
Yeah.
And why flip and take away the federal tax credit? It's not that everybody takes advantage of it.
No, and that's something we're clear on. There's certain people
Why?
that can take advantage of it, but it's 30% this year, then 26, then 22, then 10, then gone.
So when are they going to start taxing us for air?
Well, yeah, don't get me started on that. I mean, the guy that owns Nestle wants to control water.
Well, you know, the next thing out there, folks, and before we wrap this up, there's a thing on the internet called blue gold. And you think we're lying about that one? Check it out. Blue gold. Water is going to be the biggest commodity. It's not electricity.
Well, yeah.
It's not, it might be the quality of air because it's getting kind of interesting right now. You know, why do you think the people in China are moving to America or other outlining countries? Because they're sick and tired of breathing that toxic air. This is why they're coming here. And guess what? There's only 1% of pure drinking water on this entire planet.
Yeah, and
about 0.25 of that is toast.
Yeah, so think about that. So controlling water. We joke about controlling air, but okay, maybe that's the hardest one out of all of it.
They got oxygen bars. I mean, why not?
Right, but when we're talking about solar, we're talking about the sun.
Yeah.
So natural.
It's only 93 million miles away, Rob.
Yeah, and 8 minutes to get the energy here, right?
That's right.
So, but the thing is the natural resources, and think about that phrase, natural resources. So take advantage of the greatest fusion power plant in the world. It's in the sky, right?
Yeah.
And at least there are certain things you can't control. I always that saying about have the wisdom to know what you control and what you can't.
Right.
And knowing what you know and knowing what you don't know, they're equally important. But in this particular case, you have all the tools in front of you to take control at least of one part of that, which could lower your cost of living, do well for the planet, and not allow these guys to just say, all right, 356 million, we don't care, we'll throw it on you.
You know,
Just
my
stop
daughter.
that.
Yeah.
You stop that. They don't stop that. The government has proven it won't stop it. But if you decide to become independent energy-wise, you stop that mentality.
My daughter said it clearly. Her name's Alyssa.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "I'm going to become a minimalist."
There you go.
She doesn't want to be a hog of things anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all hogs if you think about it.
Yeah.
You know, wherever you go to eat, they give you this massive plate of food.
Right.
And, you know, we think it should fit in our stomach.
Right.
You know, I as big as I am, I mean, I want to eat like a quarter of that stuff. I can't do it anymore.
Start with a smaller plate.
Oh,
right?
there you go.
No, it's true. I mean, if you
so
look
it's a perception.
Well, because if you look at the French too, in many ways, sometimes very slender, and I've been to France a couple times. They eat fattier foods, but they eat good fats and they eat less of them. So it's kind of that sort of thing. It's knowing how to balance.
We can really take control of all these things we're talking about. All we have to do is pay attention, collaborate as a group,
right,
and then go up as a team against these
But what's
these
interesting
monsters.
is, to me, there's a lot of complicated things in life. Becoming your own utility is one of the least complicated.
I like it. Let's go off grid. Forget these guys.
And it does give you that independence, that as much independence as you can get. Because technically, from a technology standpoint, we could pull people off the grid.
Attention home builders.
Yeah.
Let's start building smarter. Let's start making houses out of concrete. Let's start making houses with off-grid lithium-ion battery technology that's got enough to pour back into the system and then use it.
Hold on, Chris.
Well, I'm talking about the liquid technology.
Yeah, no, I know, but you're
not this garbage that's out there now.
You're going to get me ramped up here. Okay, because first of all,
right?
I come from architecture.
Yes.
All right, about 3 decades of it.
Yep.
And I'm getting tired from an aesthetic standpoint of a bunch of large beige boxes.
Right.
I think we're more talented to do something aesthetically more beautiful for our planet and give some people not a homogenized sense of architecture where you all look like your neighbors. Where do you live? Oh, I'm the 5th beige house on the right. I'm tired of that. I'm also tired of the fact that...
Low character, right.
Yeah, I'm also tired of the fact that we keep building these gigantic 4,000 square foot boxes that 3 people live in. 2 stories that have giant volumes that are what? I mean, are they being sponsored by the utilities? Because that is so hard to heat,
Incredible.
So hard to cool. It's not like, the houses that were built 50, 60, 70 years ago, actually, in many ways, the way that just the wall structure was built, it retained and kept in more cool or more heat. 2 2x4 and drywall, giant
ridiculous.
boxes.
They're heat mongers. They're magnets for heat.
They are built for the utility to make money. They love it. Okay?
Hey, I wouldn't be surprised that they got their hands in that too.
No, and so you know what? Have reasonably sized homes, build them smaller but of better quality, more energy efficient. Solar should be on there, and not solar from day one. That's a 2.5 kilowatt
yeah, that's
system.
embarrassing.
2.5 kilowatt system. What am I going to run? My washer and dryer?
You can run your toaster and your kid's hair dryer for about 20 minutes.
But maybe not at the same time.
No, heck no.
And that's the problem. I look at these houses, 3,000 square foot homes being built, and they got 8 panels.
It's depressing.
So I understand there's a great part of it in that we're adding it to the house, but a house like that might need 20 or 30 panels and do it right from the beginning.
Well, the good thing is at least they're doing it.
At least they're starting to go there.
That's a start, right?
I love that they're going there.
Yeah.
I just want people to understand what reasonably is required to heat or cool a house of that size.
All they need is a little education.
No, and that's the thing I really love about here is not just with the podcast, but when we talk to customers, we're often told the same thing. They feel we educated them more than we sold them. And
absolutely.
And I said, well, guess what? You're not sold until you sell yourself based on the education you receive.
You receive, exactly.
And that's what I always...
That's the best.
And I've got customers that get it in 2 visits.
Yep.
And I've got customers that I'm working with one now that's taken 2 months.
2 months, yeah.
And I won't quit until they understand everything. And when they come to determine, yeah, this is totally right for me, then once that light bulb goes on, they get it.
Your last one is still thanking you from what you did.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's amazing, right?
But,
Imagine that.
And I got to say, it takes a lot of effort on our part. Most companies don't do that. They're gonna blow and go. If they come by and they don't get you in the first couple times, they're out the door.
Yep.
Because it's
marketing machines.
They're marketing machines, but we happen to be people that really enjoy what we do.
95% of our stuff comes from word of mouth.
A lot of word of mouth,
which is crazy. It's harder.
Yeah.
By any means, but because we're not throwing a bunch of spaghetti against the wall and watch it stick.
No, and that's what they do. They throw 300 leads to the wall, and if 20 or 30, 10% stick, they're happy. Most of our stuff sticks. We talk to fewer people, but we educate and we get them to that point. And
we get quality installations.
But that's our greatest compliment is when somebody refers us or somebody just says, wow, I had no one educated us like this. And I know that's what our job is.
Yep. So let's close.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the
we
day,
could go on forever.
I mean, just talk about gripe list, man. We got a bunch of it. You ain't heard nothing yet, folks.
Yeah.
So check this out. $356 million is about to hit everybody's electric bill. Congratulations, Southern California Edison, for not asking us first, just doing it. And thank you for KFI for reporting that.
Good
work.
And
they don't report stuff that's not true.
No,
these guys are really, really good out there.
Very credible.
Yay. Yeah. So get prepared for that, folks. And you know what? Get an electric vehicle. I can't wait to buy the new Prius Prime.
Yeah, I know.
57 miles to the gallon and 25 one-way per charge.
Nice.
And my wife can drive it forever on charges.
On charges,
which is great, right?
Yeah. And whenever we're going out to our site visits that are out in the distance, we always take the company Prius,
baby.
And we watch only 2 bars go down, and we drove 120 miles. No,
it's such a good thing, man. I can get over 400 or 500 miles to the tank.
So we're talking about you being able to save more money by just being also more earth conscious.
Lead by example.
You know, so I mean, it's a wonderful feeling. So, you know, you guys just take control of your stuff. Give us a call. Listen to our podcast. We're happy to help you.
Soon to be on the Android app and the iOS for Apple. So that's coming out here soon.
By the way, I have the podcast app for Apple, and I could see all our podcasts already.
So they're there now.
It's there, absolutely.
Yippee!
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, only in America, baby.
It's cool.
All right, Rob. Well, thanks for hanging out, and I appreciate you talking about this subject with me.
No, thanks for bringing it up.
And it makes sense, right?
Yeah, scarily. It makes sense because they're doing the same thing. Just, you know what, guys? Do some research, Google, check into us, call us.
Yeah.
We'll just answer your questions. I mean, our whole thing is about helping inform you.
Yep.
That's what we're all about.
That's it for now. Hey, buddy. Thanks a lot, Rob. I'll see you later.
All right, Chris.
I'll see you at the next podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, guy.
All right, bud.
All right, bye.
The Energy Hour was brought to you by
For beauty, efficiency, and power, the only product we know in the solar industry is Solaria. Maximum power. For nearly 25 years, Solaria has set the pace for solar panel performance, efficiency, reliability, quality, and design. Maximum power. Solaria continues to leverage its patented technology, engineering expertise, and sophisticated automation into creating one of the most attractive, energy-efficient solar panels available on the market today. Maximum power. What really defines home solar? How about Solaria? Quality you can trust for your home or business. Solaria is the new benchmark for solar energy. Where do you get this panel for your home or business? Go to QHIinc.com. That's QHIINC.com/Solaria. SOLARIA.
Thank you for listening to The Energy Hour. Visit them on the internet by going to QHIinc.com/TEO. That's QHIINC.com/TEO.